Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Legal Tech Hub product briefing. I'm Stephanie Wilkins, the Director of Content at Legal Tech Hub, and today I'm joined by Nathan Walter, the CEO and co-founder of Briefpoint.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you and hear about what Briefpoint is up to. Before we get started with your demo, maybe you could give our audience a little bit of a background of yourself and how Briefpoint got started.
Absolutely. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Briefpoint, and I was a litigator for 5 years, and I hated discovery. So I built Briefpoint along with my co-founder, who I met playing video games actually, to eliminate discovery work. So our goal is to just take discovery work and remove it from litigation entirely. And that's basically what we've done.
Well, as a former litigator, I can appreciate that. I'm excited to see it in action. Before you do launch your demo, though, maybe you can give us a little bit of a hint at what we're going to see and maybe set us up.
Yeah, so Briefpoint drafts discovery responses and we draft discovery requests or propounding discovery. And what I'm going to show you here today is a new feature we're launching called Auto Doc, which will allow you to upload your case file, so all the documents in the case, and we'll give you a Word document, which will be an RFP or request for production response that's completed with the objections, and we'll actually write the substantive answers where we cite to the responsive documents to each request by their Bates numbers and give you a production package with all the documents you've uploaded that are responsive baited. So instead of spending time doing doc review and writing this response doc, as you'll see, you just upload things, click a few times, and you get a completed response Word doc.
Well, that sounds awesome. Without further ado, do you mind showing us?
So what we're seeing here, this is Briefpoint, and Briefpoint's an out-of-the-box solution. There's no IT or implementation required. Once you create an account, you can get the ball rolling. What I'm going to show you today is how we generate requests for production or demand for production responses. First, I've already uploaded all the files for my case into Briefpoint, so all the contracts, anything that you would normally produce in that case, they're already in Briefpoint. And now I'm going to upload my opposing counsel's request for production, the PDF that they sent me. And you don't need to do anything to the PDFs you upload into Briefpoint. However they're given to you, you give them to us, we'll process them and start creating this Word doc response. I'm going to click Get Started on that PDF, and now we're going to confirm some information that Briefpoint's pulled out of this document. We use this information to create a case folder for you and populate the caption page. We got doc information, party information. And now what we've done is taken all the requests for production and put them into a list for you to object and respond to. Now, normally in Briefpoint to object, you can either select the objections or click suggest and Briefpoint will object for you. But the new feature is here, this button that says find documents. And when I click find documents, Briefpoint takes this request, the definitions in the request, and its understanding of your case, goes through the entire production upload and finds all of the documents responsive to this request so that you don't need to go reading through it. Now, here we found 121 documents. Now, this is a ton of AI that's powering this. At Briefpoint, we say, don't trust AI, verify. So click verify to check our work, and we'll, of course, show you the actual documents that are going to be produced that are loading here. But more critically, we have this view all or verify all page, which shows you this. And what we're looking at here is a foldering system that Briefpoint created to organize the documents you uploaded automatically. Now, if you uploaded one PDF with 100 documents, Briefpoint will split that PDF into 100 different documents, title all of them, and organize them so they're all accurately grouped into folders, so you can use it as a document management system on your account. But critically, when we find an answer to an RFP, we show you where we looked for the documents in those dark green folders and where we didn't look in the white folders. So we can focus the requisite doc review to only those places where it would make sense to look, because these folders have a higher degree of likelihood of having responsive documents versus the other folders which have clearly no responsive documents. And then you can preview the document and correct our work. So we want you to verify the Briefpoint answers so you can learn to trust what we find. And there's 122 documents found there. And then I'm going to just click find documents for the rest of these to get them going. And this is not a replacement for e-discovery in that we generally don't recommend this for cases with hundreds of thousands of documents. This is for cases that don't have the document volume to warrant an e-discovery solution. And since we're over 1,000 times cheaper, this is an easy way to get that value in automated e-discovery in your hands that's normally out of reach. And it has some benefits beyond e-discovery. Namely, number one, we're not checking for relevance. We're checking for responsiveness to each request. We skip relevance because obviously if a document is responsive to a request, it is relevant. But you would need to get all the relevant documents and find out which ones are responsive. You don't need to do that anymore. We go straight to it. And because of the way this works, we can actually find needles in haystacks where we can show you the exact documents that are responsive to the requests. So no more spray and pray productions, no more saying, hey, I'll just produce the documents. And if you're in federal in some jurisdictions where you have to be specific, you wait for a meet and confer letter or a motion to compel to do the work. You don't need to do that anymore. You can just use Briefpoint. And what's also cool about this is we'll tell you if no documents exist, which is another thing e-discovery can't do. And if that's the case, you can say, I'm unable to produce because the documents don't exist. Or you can send the client and then collect their responses to supplement those places where you don't have the production. Here's another one where there's only one or two documents in here, or actually, let's see, all correspondence. Yeah, 40 documents there. And then we have this, which is asking for all documents that support your cause of action for negligence. Because we understand the nature of your case, because you've uploaded the complaint in the case, which gives us this understanding, we can actually find documents that support legal grounds, which is otherwise a very annoying thing to do. And I'll click suggest here to automatically insert the objections, and we write the objections to protect you from boilerplate objection arguments. And then we're done here. So I'm going to click review. You set up how you want your Bates numbers to be. So I'll do the prefix this and the starting number there. And as a final safety precaution, we show you all the documents that are part of your case that we didn't produce in response to any RFP. Now in this demo, I cut the RFPs from 50 to 5, so there's a lot. But we do this as a final safety check. So you make sure you can add in any documents that weren't produced and you don't leave anything on the table. And then you click open in Word and you get this Word document. This Word document is formatted for California because the document we uploaded, the request for production, was a California state court document. We automatically give you a Word document formatted for your jurisdiction's formatting rules and customs. So every document you download from Briefpoint is automatically formatted how you would format it. So you don't need to do anything. So there's the caption, preliminary statement, general objections. And then we have the responses with the objections and the substantive responses citing to the documents by their Bates number. And this is something that cannot be more accurate because we're doing it literally by the page. That would normally take hours. You can do that in 4 or 5 minutes. And then you click download production and you get a zip file with all the PDFs baited in accordance with this. And that's the end of an RFP response. And that's it. So that's eliminated.
I remember my litigation days and it definitely was not that fast. So
we're really excited about this. And right now, RFP responses. And then in Q4 of this year, we're doing the same thing for interrogatory responses, where if the answer to an interrogatory exists within production, we'll find the answer and show you exactly where we found the information to get that answer. And at that point, all discovery is effectively eliminated.
That's great. That'll be music to some people's ears for sure.
I hope so.
Well, that's really great. I love when products are simple to understand and easy like that, because I can totally see how it would have made my life easier as a litigator. But if people do have more questions, we will be putting a URL at the bottom of the screen where you can reach out to Briefpoint or to Nathan and his team and learn more about the product and ask any more questions you might have a follow-up. And thank you, Nathan, for taking the time to show us that today. And I hope everyone at home has a great day.
Thank you all. I look forward to talking to you all soon.